Hello, YouTube. I just got done with my first viewing of Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, and this movie was incredible, and I just had to get on here and make a video about it, so let's talk about it. I want to introduce you to this movie because you may not be familiar with this style of movie or Alfred Hitchcock. The Birds is a monster horror thriller. It's a combination of genres released in 1963 by legendary filmmaker Alfred Hitchcock. Alfred Hitchcock is a legend. He is responsible for some of the most iconic movies of all time, such as Vertigo and Psycho. He's also very famous for an iconic TV series called Hitchcock Presents. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the story. I don't want to spoil too much, but I want to try to get you hooked on what's happening here. So, the story follows main protagonist Melanie Daniels, excuse me. I don't know why I want to call her Davis, as she is reacquainted with Mitch Berner. And they have previously met in a courtroom, and he is a lawyer. And they are reacquainted in this pet store, and mm, they both develop like this mutual attraction for each other. And Mitch tells her that he is looking for a pair of lovebirds, and he then eventually leaves the pet store. Melody takes a picture of his of his license plate, I mean, and she eventually tracks him down and she delivers the pair of lovebirds to his home, but he is on vacation at his home in Bodega Bay. So she takes it all the way out there to surprise him. Then later throughout the movie, the birds all of a sudden become vicious and start attacking and murdering the residents, and we don't know why. Uh, that is the that is the basic plot of the movie. Um, some other things I'd like to talk about is I just love how Alfred Hitchcock made a horror monster movie out of birds. Birds are usually passive, non-violent creatures, and making them the point of like monsters of this movie is just a very unique way to do a movie like this. I love how Hitchcock introduces the birds in this movie, like when Melanie is getting off the boat from delivering the lovebirds to Mitch. One of them accidentally attacks her, and you think nothing of it, like, oh, it's just an accident. And then a bunch of kids are attacked at a birthday party, and then all hell breaks loose. Hitchcock is just a master at slowly introducing us to the terror in his movies that we are about to experience. He did this really well in Psycho, and then he also did this really well in The Birds again, I thought. Um, Despite this movie releasing in the 60s, I think that this movie still holds up and just shows how timeless and legendary Alfred Hitchcock really was as a filmmaker. I want to talk about two scenes in particular. The first scene, about halfway through the movie, Mitch's mother Lydia goes and checks on her neighbor, I believe it was, and she opens the door to his home and finds his home has been destroyed. It looks like that a pack of wild animals or a group of hooligans had just broke in and started vandalizing his home, but that's not the case. And she's creeping through his home, and she eventually finds the person she's looking for, and he has just been brutally mutilated by these birds. And you can see like his clothes has been like torn to shreds. There's a lot more graphic stuff that I don't really want to go into because I don't want to scare any squeamish people away from that stuff, because it's a really graphic scene and it still holds up really well today. Even I was thinking like, gosh, that's pretty terrifying. Um then there's a second scene in the movie that I really liked, and it's everyone is sitting in the coffee shop after experiencing like a big terrible event at the school with the birds, and everyone is wondering why the birds all of a sudden have gone mad and nobody has an answer to it. Then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose and you start seeing how dangerous these birds how dangerous these birds truly are. They start tearing into people, they start smashing into windows, freak accidents happen, explosions are happening. It's just a very crazy scene to just witness. Another thing about this movie is I really love how this movie made me feel. It made me feel suspense and fear whenever the birds would show up, and I kept wondering as to why all of a sudden the birds have gone mad. And you can take it or leave it as a spoiler, but there's really no reason as to why the birds have gone mad. Um, and I just love when movies have that ambiguity of like you don't know what has happened. Like there's no answer to it. It's really up to you to uh it's really left up to interpretation, and it's left up to you to decide like what has happened here. Like throughout the movie I had like so many theories about what has happened, and I keep having theories, and I'm probably going to keep having theories uh all throughout the week while I'm thinking about this movie. Um, this movie, to wrap it up, I think this movie is a certified banger, and I'll definitely be adding this to my GOTY list on letterboxd. Um, I highly recommend anyone who is interested in classic cinema to check out this movie because I think this movie is really special. I think it is an all-timer, and I think you need to check this movie out. So yeah, that's all I have to say today. Thank you for tuning in. See ya.